Urgent! A major news story has just been released involving the name of the team. Surprisingly, our journalists have gained access to this valuable information. Speculation is boiling, and the club president intends to invest in this promising new player. However, before we go into the details of the news, I make a special request: subscribe to the channel so that we can soon surpass in number of subscribers the name of the rival. With your support, we will become the leading news channel. The last time you saw a Canadian that was ready to bounce back from a devastating injury, they were dressed as Deadpool and looking for Francis. Neville Gallimore is having, literally, the best training camp of his 4-year career in the NFL and with the Cowboys, and he's done it quietly off of the field but very noisily on it. It was nearly 2 years ago to the day that Gallimore suffered a dislocated elbow in the first quarter of a preseason matchup against the Arizona Cardinals, the most devastating football injury he's ever suffered, ultimately costing him all but 5 games that season. Truth be told, however, it also cost him the 2022 season as well. How? Well, mentally he was a different player, one that still wore an elbow brace that served as a constant reminder of the trauma and, as such, a visual cue for him to overthink on every single rep, always wondering if the next strike would send him back to injured reserve. "It did," said Gallimore after the conclusion of the final padded practice that precedes the coming preseason matchup against the Jacksonville Jaguars. "I have to give thanks because I didn't have to get surgery, but it definitely was a process, both physically and mentally, to get back to being a defensive lineman. You have to use your hands and be able to strike. And with that brace? Man, mentally, it set me back. Even now, dealing with certain circumstances that I had to get accustomed to, the beautiful thing about this game is when you put in that work, you find a way. It was an uphill climb, and this is my first camp not having a brace and not having to actually think about it. For anyone watching Cowboys practices from OTAs to now, that tracks. Gallimore hasn't won every battle, but no one does. He has, however, won far more than his fair share, and it's been with a combination of quickness and the rib-rattling power in his hands that led him to become a dual draftee in 2020, selected in both the NFL and CFL draft that spring, after earning honors as an All-Big 12 talent for Oklahoma in 2019. On one rep in particular, Gallimore used the aforementioned quickness and power to toss Tyre Smith to the ground for what would have been a TFL at worst and, at best, a quarterback sack. He looks every bit the part of a former third-round pick who started 9 games for head coach Mike McCarthy as a rookie. Once you take the thinking out of the injury part, you can get back to focusing on the little things: dropping unnecessary weight, getting back into football shape, and just getting back playing football and to get better at the game, Gallimore said. "I would say this has been my best off-season, and I still have a lot to prove. The beauty about it is this is my 4th year, and, even with the knowledge I've gained and the amount that I've improved, in terms of my game, I still feel like there's another level to hit. And that's what this is all about, not listening to the outside noise and making sure that I'm bringing what I need to bring to the table, and being a guy that players and coaches can rely on in the future." The process to get back to this point, now 2 full years removed from the injury and mentally over the events of 2021, has involved tweaking his off-season preparation as well. What's up, fans? How are you interpreting this news? Do you feel in agreement, or do you have a dissenting perspective? Leave your analysis in the comments area. This feedback is of great importance for our beloved team to understand your opinion. Stay tuned, as I will be back with more information at any moment. What's up, fans? How are you interpreting this news? Do you feel in agreement, or do you have a dissenting perspective? Leave your analysis in the comments area. This feedback is of great importance for our beloved team to understand your opinion. Stay tuned, as I will be back with more information at any moment. What's up, fans? How are you interpreting this news? Do you feel in agreement, or do you have a dissenting perspective? Leave your analysis in the comments area. This feedback is of great importance for our beloved team to understand your opinion. Stay tuned, as I will be back with more information at any moment.